Hello, my name is Michael Gunther. This is my evaluation proposal for the Suffolk County Community Protection Act to answer the question, should a nonprofit verify sex offenders? To understand the need for this evaluation, we must review the Suffolk County Community Protection Act, which created a partnership between the Suffolk County Police Department and the Parents for Megan's Law nonprofit to force multiply resources and provide additional investigative resources for the overtaxed Suffolk County Police Department in order to ensure that the sex offender registry is up to date and accurate. Under the New York State Sex Offender Registration Act, the three-level risk assessment tiers, number 1, number 2, and number 3, low, moderate, and high, established the risk of reoffense or recidivism among sex offenders. It also established a residency requirement requiring that sex offenders who moved into a community would be required to register themselves and provide the police department with an accurate location or residence where they could be verified. Under the Adam Walsh Protection Act, laws like this were expanded to include all 50 states. Our literature review, in order to provide a fair evaluation, was conducted to obtain knowledge of the issues. The multi-state evaluation of sex offender risk of recidivism and using the Adam Walsh Protection Act tiers, the Minnesota Circle of Support and Accountability, the sex offender laws and prevention of sexual violence or recidivism. With the multi-state evaluation, a study was conducted involving 4 states, New Jersey, Florida, Minnesota, and South Carolina. What they found was that recidivism did occur. It occurred after 5 years at a 5.1% level and after 10 years at a 10.3% level. The Minnesota Circle of Support and Accountability was an alternative program based on counseling and support for offenders in order to reduce recidivism. It was a controlled study involving 62 registered sex offenders. Half, or 31, received counseling and support. The other half did not. That was the control group. The control group was found to have 45% recidivism after the end of the study. The drawbacks to the Minnesota Circle of Support and Accountability were the cost effectiveness as well as the accountability, based on the fact that volunteers were utilized to counsel the sex offenders, and there were more sex offenders than there were volunteers. It was difficult to maintain that level of accountability or that level of verification. Why a program like this wouldn't work in Suffolk County? Basically, there's 448 law enforcement agencies in Minnesota to verify sex offenders, but only 3 agencies in Suffolk County. So based on population and volunteer availability or police verification capability, this program would not work in Suffolk County. Under the sex offenders laws and prevention of sexual violence or recidivism, I found that there was excellent information on the federal Adam Walsh Protection Act. It pointed out the many flaws in the Adam Walsh Act, and it was an anti-registry take on the law. That was the difficulty to this. Reading Dr. Bonner Kidd's study, you gained a lot of information about the effects of the sex offender laws on the sex offenders themselves, but not as much on the victims. So we looked at a program, the multi-state evaluation, that indicated that there was recidivism. We looked at an alternative program to see if there was a way of doing it in a cost-effective manner utilizing volunteers, and we examined the anti-registry take on the law. All this to answer the question, should a nonprofit agency verify sex offenders? Why? Well, we provided a methodology for evaluation, a comparison of offender records before and after the program, a review of police arrest reports from the onset of the program to the current date. The potential drawbacks there were the county arrest records would not reflect arrests occurring in other jurisdictions. Why is the evaluation of the program needed? To verify the results claimed by the agency, to ensure the cost effectiveness of the program itself, and to determine if the program should continue to receive funding under the Suffolk County Community Protection Act. These questions will be answered in the evaluation phase with a conclusion drawn based on these methodologies and evaluations. Thank you.